I think I've done another day this week, and I can't remember.
I've lost track.
I've lost track of the week. Yeah, no, I did Monday. I did Monday. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I want to sort out because I brought the 7300, and it's amazing how other radios have like a couple of inputs nowadays for antennas, but no 7300, one input. So I want to try and I've got a switch, an MFJ switch. So I basically want that one input, put that on a board, and have 2 or 3 antennas to go into it. A bit complex at the moment with the radio, because apparently it does 4 meters. I can't see how it does 4 meters. Mind you, the 9700 does 23 sems as well. I don't know how to do that. I'll have to have a look. I just haven't had the time to do anything. And you know, I took Litland to shopping yesterday. So when I did that, I forgot a couple of bits the day before, because I thought, I'm going to end up lugging him around with the trolleys. But anyway, we went out again, so we had a bit of fun together, so that was one good thing. Good morning to Wayne, VK4 AGR. Good to see you. We got VK4 GRB on there, and myself. Over to you, Wayne. VK4 AGR G1LQ.
Yeah, G1NLQ, VK4 AGR. Well, I'm lying in bed, just about to, you know, put the old oxygen mask on and suck in some oxygen. So I thought I'd check and see if anyone was there. And g'day to you, Dave and Gary. I was listening to Gary talking to someone, I think it was yesterday, I often sit on the Chinese room. A couple of friends, we usually go up on the Chinese room and sit there and have a bit of a chat. I sent you a message the other day too, Dave. I don't know if you've read the email. If you want to go on the 505 free DMR, you can now get the 505 on Peanut. I know it's 229 Victor. I can't think of XRLF or something like that. Anyway, I have the little radio on that now. I don't hang around on the DMR 505 anymore. That is a dodo. So I sit on 505, free 505, which, anyway, you got the information. Anyway, I'll throw it back to you, Dave. And I won't be holding it long because, like I said, I've gone to bed and I'm about to go onto the oxygen. Over.
Yeah, VK4 AGR G1LQ. Yeah, I'll have a look. I've been having issues with blessed Windows. I nearly called it something else then. This computer here that I'm on, every time I turn it off, it's doing Windows updates, and it stays on there for blessed hours. I'm thinking of putting it, you know, it was a Windows 8 machine. I'm thinking of reverting it back to Windows 8. It probably was better. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Yeah, I'm writing a note to myself, check emails. I think I went on last week, checked my emails, because Net, she was part of Ilara, the Australian young ladies, but her sponsor unfortunately is now in a care home with Alzheimer's. And then we read that David, her husband, had passed away while she was in the care home. So really, really sad. So in fact, I think we read there was 3 silent keys on the one newsletter. So yeah, we were a bit surprised we actually got the newsletter, because Meg used to sponsor Net and vice versa. We stopped the one over here because we found it was a waste of money. But yeah, fair enough on going on the oxygen. And yeah, I'll have a look at that on Peanut, see if I can find it. Yeah, I left the radio on 505 the other day, whilst I was upstairs doing something, I can't remember what, and not a dicky bird, so it was very quiet. But good to hear you, Wayne, and I'll let you go on your old oxygen. Yeah, I think I need some oxygen at the moment. Anyway, good to hear you, mate. I'll put it over to Gary, VK4GRB G1NLQ.
G1NLQ, VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo returning. Oh, excuse I. Other than that, oh, don't worry, I'm just cooking tea. So I'm listening, but I'm doing other bits as well. Okay, I'm not too sure, but I think we might have a few more on there. I could be wrong. No, it's only 3 of us on there. So it looks like it might be a short one for you there, here at the present time. But you never know. Other than that, not much else happening. As I said, I want to get the interface up and running, but finding time to get make up a patch lead is one of those things at the present time. But I'll get around to it. And yeah, evening there, Wayne. G1NLQ, VK4GRB. Back to you there, Dave.
Yeah, VK4GRB with VK4AGR. Yeah, I think it will be a quiet one today. I did get a message last night from Brian, M0DCO, say he was going sailing today, weather permitting. As you know, he's a white stick operator. We get him, and because Lisa probably will be at home, but I don't think she doesn't go on when he's not about. Yeah, I did go onto the Gold Coast repeater. Spoke to BT, VK4BT. Yeah, VK4BT the other day. But I don't know whether it was my end or his end, but he kept on breaking up. But I got the gist of everything. That was on Echolink, so it was quite good. I knew, or I think Daryl told me that they'd got the repeater up and running again, but Yeah, it was I suppose it was fairly good, but no, all good. And I'll just put it back over to Wayne before he disappears off to La La Land. The K4 AGR G1 NLQ.
Yeah, G1 NLQ VK4 AGR. Yeah, the where you spoke to Peter on the Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast, I think you said. Anyway, I'll send you a map. It shows you all the repeaters, a link to that on Echolink, where I am, up in the Bunya Mountains here. We got our repeater up on the mountain, and that's linked into that, and it goes down to Warwick, as far as Warwick, into New South Wales, over towards the coast. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, I've got the beam antenna pointed straight at that repeater. Yeah, Peter, VK4BT, yeah, not a bad bloke. Poor bugger's stuck in a wheelchair, but he's a really nice bloke. And anyway, he gets up to all sorts of mischief, and we've often had a conversation through the Bunya repeater down to wherever he lives. I'm not sure where he lives, but anyway, nice bloke. And that. All right then, Dave and Gary, I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, the adjoining property here, they left an unattended fire here yesterday, and anyway, being an ex-captain of the fire brigade, I tried to contact him. He wasn't at home. He's gone and left it on his left it, and it's burned all the way down the paddock. I'll send you a little video of the fire, the end result. He's lucky it never went down to the bush over the creek, otherwise he'd be in a lot of trouble. I was here on my own yesterday. There was no one here. There was no one in the property, and anyway, I had to go over and stop the fire heading towards the creek, because it would have been out of control once it got into the bushland. So, yeah, not impressed. I've been suffering all day from the smouldering piles of bush, logs and that you know, went up. That's why I'm going on the oxygen. I've got it here because I'm a acute asthma sufferer. So you can imagine if you've ever gone through asthma, what that's all about. All right, mate, you have a good one, you and the missus, and we'll catch you later. You too, Gary. I know hopefully everything's going all right out there for you too, after all those fires earlier on. So I'll put it back to you today. Catch you later. I'll sign on this one. So you have a good VK2. Sorry, I'll get it right. G1NLQ VK for AGR. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, G1NLQ returning. Okay there, mate. Yeah, that was a bit naughty, wasn't it? Leaving unattended fires. That was always a no-no. That was always a no-no with us, and you know, even. Well, I mean, we used to do a bit of backburning to save ourselves with big bushfires and things like that. But we always had a bit of equipment like a tractor or a bulldozer or something like that around us to extinguish whatever. Peter, VK4BT, is in Logan, if I remember rightly. So, yeah. But, yeah, I can imagine the old smoke inhalation didn't do you any good. We had it here a few weeks ago. A guy got a fire in his back garden, and the smoke, and it seemed to crawl in through every nook and cranny. I went to bed that night, and all I could smell was poxy smoke, and it was horrendous. Alright, Wayne, good to hear you, mate. You have a good one. I don't think we're going to be on here long today. As I say, Oh, there's women's football, and that's probably what's stopping a lot of them on. I don't know when they're playing the matches, but
No idea.
I'm sure that's what's going on. I'm not really into it. I keep seeing bits on the news, and then there was something about some ashes or something. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm only joking. Oh, and the dogs are going. Hang on a minute. Yeah, sorry about that, Gary. Yeah, I think it's the postman. Hang on a moment. Yeah, VK4, GRB, G1LQ, and then there was I and you. Yeah, I've been waiting for a letter. My license expires, but it was 90 days last Sunday, and I'm waiting for them to send me the renewal. Because I've got to go with a photograph one now. Mine's an old paper license. Because I've not moved, I need to go to a photograph one. So I've got all the photograph done, or the picture done, and bits and pieces. But I'm going to end up having to do it a different way. I think go and find the forms in the post office and get it done. Which is a bit of a pain, but I'd rather them send me the forms. Anyway, I think you're cooking tea, you said, so
Yep.
mate, if you want to have your dinner, I'll just sit on the side and see if anybody else comes up. VK4GRB G1LQ.
G1NLQ, VK4, Golf Romeo Bravo. That's no worries there, Dave. I've finished cooking, and doesn't take long. So, but yeah, there's only just you and I on here for what I can see at the moment. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, not much else happening here. Was doing, as I said, some work outside, doing bits and pieces around the property, and other than that, what happened then? Oh, okay. Don't ask me what happened then. Something went flicker. But yeah, all the the interfaces and that are here. I've just got to, as I said, I've just got to find a chance to make up a patch lead. The new radio which I've got there, someone else has just popped up. The new radio I've got there for the second link It runs floating earths on microphone and PTT, so and the interface has got a common earth. So I'm looking at putting a couple of green caps in to make it out that it's running a floated earth. Hi. Yeah, G1NLQ, VK4, Golf Romeo Bravo. Back to you.
Yeah, VK4, GRB, G1LQ, yeah, okay. Yeah, going to fall into floating earth, yeah. That's sometimes the best way of doing it, isn't it? But all good. Yeah, we've got Arthur on. As I say, I think it's just going to be a quick little net today. As I say, Brian's not coming on because he's sailing, and we won't get Lisa on. Anyway, let's see if Arthur's any better from his tummy bug. Yeah, Arthur, I sent a message to Ian, and he rather grumbly came back and said, well, can't he talk to anybody else on there? And I went, perhaps he hasn't got the information. Anyway, I'm just telling you, I was a bit... I do find Ilderstone a bit of a strange radio club. For a radio club to be communication, there seems to be a lot of lack of communication, mate. And yeah, dare I say it, I don't think I'll become a member of Ilderstone. They all seem to be too much full of their own importance, but I know the Radio Club of Thanet never used to be that way.
No.
So anyway, I'm not going there. I'm not going there, Arthur. I'm not going there. And that's between you and I and the gatepost. G0HH1LQ.
Yeah, all received and understood. Yeah, fine. I'm not feeling great after last night. Got a terrible night's sleep and plumbing. Oh God, you'll laugh. You know, it was so bad yesterday afternoon. You know, when you pass wind, then you find out it's too bloody late, don't you? Oh dear, that's how it was. So that's why I didn't go. I just couldn't bear the aftermath of something like that going wrong. Anyway, good evening to Gary. Nice to hear you're out there, mate, and you're going strong again. Helderson. Yeah, I've got my doubts about it. I did rejoin again. I really would be in. I would have loved to have been there last night because those school kids were doing the work, talking about their projects, and I thought, well, yeah, I'd love to see that. And this bloody happened. But yeah, there were one or two people in that lot. Certainly, if you try to speak down to me, because I'm not up to date with all the fabulous things that have happened in the last 20 years when I wasn't on the air, and I take it with a pinch of salt, and I often say, yeah, well, I've missed a lot over the 20 years, but I don't think it's got any better. And they look at me with a strange look. Well, I don't think it's as good now as it was 20 years ago, when you could go on there on the HF and you could actually talk to somebody. These days, no, it's wham bam, thank you ma'am, next one. Oh no, bugger that. My HF goes on. I have a flick through 40. It looks pretty good signals, but and also I've got the problem of this all this bloody electrostatic around me, which doesn't help me on the HF anyway. Okay, I'll pass it back to you, Dave. Golf 1 GNLQ in the group, Golf 0 AHA.
Yeah, G0 AHA1LQ. Yeah, okay then, mate. Yeah. Yeah, well, see, it's like that. Now, I think a club should do a bit of advertising, and even if they shoved it up on our group, they don't, you know, I didn't know what was on there last night. No. You know, it's a lot of lack of information. Yeah, so they sent some emails out to their members, but what about the people that are not members? That might think to themselves, hey, I wouldn't mind going along and seeing that, and you know, then get coerced into being a member. You know, I just find it a little weird, and yeah, I totally understand, mate. I see a lorry driver a few years ago. And he got out of his truck, and oh God, he was a mess. He was a mess. He really was. And he turned around and he said, "You know, have you got a bathroom here?" He waddled to this bathroom with some spare trousers, and yeah. Yeah, it's not nice, is it, mate? But yeah, all good. And yeah, things have changed. They've changed a lot. But there are guys out there that have been in the hobby for quite a long while, and even they can't grasp what's gone on. You know, with radio. You know, it's all good, isn't it? Some of it, but as you say, HF. Yeah, I listened the other night, and it was nice to hear a couple of guys having a conversation. All right, I was earwigging their conversation, but it was nice. And I suppose a good 75% of it was radio orientated. You know, we were talking about their radios, they were talking about their aerials, they were talking about, you know, proximity of their aerials and things. But why do people get, you know, that? Hang on, let me take another bit. That attitude that, you know, everybody should know everything that's going on in the hobby. I do find it's strange, and yeah, looking down at people. Oh, that does annoy me. That really does annoy me. It used to happen when I was a B class licensee, you know, and I've snapped at people before. You know, I've taken the same exam as the likes of, you know, a G3, a G4, or a G0. You know, the only thing I didn't do was mults. I didn't do the mults. So, you know, I'm fairly dyslexic when it comes to. You know, if I was tapping out mults, you know, it probably I get the right word, but all the letters would be in the wrong places, and yeah, so I did exactly the same exam, but you know, it used to be, and I think it still is. There's a lot of guys out there that look down their noses at foundation guys, you know. You know, look, Alan, M6NYI, he's a very, very knowledgeable guy, mate. He really is. And yeah, he's a foundation holder. It's the same in Oz. You know, there's lots of guys out there that are foundation guys, and they're very knowledgeable. So yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It is weird. So I'm talking a bit because I know Gary's doing his eating his lunch. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a quiet one on here today. So never mind. That's the way it goes. Yeah, your noise problem is a bit of a well, I've got the same problem. The factory next door to me, they've got all this computerized gear going on, you know, and then there's compressors and things like that. And I went to them a few weeks ago, and I said, I think you've got a problem with a piece of your equipment. Oh, no, everything seems to be all right. I think it was about a week later. One of them came round and went, "You were right." They had oops. I'll take another bit. Yeah, they had a motor with a bit of gear go up the creek. It went down big time. And yeah, if they'd done a bit more searching, they would have found it and probably saved themselves a fair few bob. So yeah, put it back to you, Arthur. Anyway, but I'm glad to hear you're feeling a bit better. And I always carry some of that Imodium in little tiny tablets. You can get them virtually anywhere now, can't you? Tesco's or any of the chemists, or the co-op, they sell them, and pop a couple of those, and yeah, that blocks the old outlet up. G0HH1LQ.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I'll have my chat and then I'll pass it over to Gary straight from me. But yeah, fine. But I was talking to one old boy in the club, and he mentioned something. And did I know what so-and-so was? I can't remember what it was now. And I said, no, no idea. He said, well, that's all a part of the foundation lesson now. I said, well, I never did the foundation ever. I said, this foundation is just new stuff to me. I don't know what they have to study for it these days. I studied for what I needed when I passed, and I had a pass and a credit on the two papers. One was a pass and one was a credit. So I thought, oh, well, that's good, thank God. I did it, sort of an exam, one of the exams that I passed first time ever, because I never passed my driving test. For 3 times I took my driving test, and 3 times I took my horse before I got them anyway. Yeah, no, I'm feeling better than I was yesterday. I'm not in pain anymore, because the old gut was turning over, and oh, God blimey. And that's when I decided I shouldn't go out in the evening, because it could be very embarrassing. Anyway, now I should continue being a member there, because I do like it when they have interesting speakers come along there, and it's a night out then. But as the members know, I never stay there around more than about an hour anyway. I shoot off, and I either pick my fish and chips up on the way home from the Newington bar, and then I'm off with it, because they all think I've got a woman tucked away somewhere. Yeah, like the hell. I don't need that anymore. I mean, so I had one that I loved and had a fabulous time with, and just have no thoughts in that direction. Anyway, I'm going to chuck it up in the air just in case Gary wants to come back. VK4 GRB Golf 0 AHA in the group. Are you there, Gary? Golf 0. Yeah, over to you, mate.
Golf 0 AHA VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo. No worries there, Alpha. yeah, I've gave me a little bit of time to put some links up on different sites. So yeah. No, I finished tea. So that's not a problem as well. And I, as I said, I put a couple of links up, or put a link up on my normal links up for Fridays. So it was just giving me something. I remembered I had to do that, and I checked to see if the stuff was in, and it was. So I done what I had to do. Yeah, they put a time limit of 9 o'clock Saturday at the latest. So I just look in, and if they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're not. And of course, last week's was on a different site, so I had to change it back again, because this week they're back to their normal site again. Anyway, different things. Yeah, okay. Oh, we've got Owen up on the list, I see that. G1NLQ, VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo.
Yeah, VK4 GRB G1LQ. Yeah, okay then, mate. No worries. And so I was answering a message from from Laura. She wanted to know if I got two £10 notes for a 20. I don't know what she's up, so Net just took that round. Yeah, Owen. Good evening, Owen. How are you? And I wonder how things are going your end. VK4 FO DM G1LQ.
Yeah, G1NLQ, no worries there, Dave. Yeah, all good this way. Just sort of sitting down having a few mushrooms and gravy. And I mean mushrooms as in freshly picked mushrooms out of the yard. They're very nice. I prefer them like that. And before you say anything about my car, I picked my car up tomorrow. He said it's ready. There's an issue with it. On the computer, something about the second, about cylinder 2, comes up with an error. And thought it might have been the coil pack, but he changed them around and didn't change it. So it looks like I'll have to take it into Nissan and get it to fit on their big computer and find out. It's probably just fuel injection. There's probably a bit of a blockage in the fuel injectors. That's probably why it's coming up with an error. But yeah, I'll pick it up tomorrow morning. Which will be good. I've had no car for a while and I'm getting bored. Yeah, that's life, I suppose. There, Dave. G1NLQ, VK4 DM.
Yeah, VK4 FODM G1LQ. Yeah, okay then, mate. Yeah, you normally find that when you've had a motor to bits There's all little bits and pieces, and yeah, probably just wants to be plugged into a computer, and you know, I'll reset that, and so on and so on. But yeah, I bet you're chomping at the bit to get your motor. But yeah, not chomping at the bit to pay the money.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it's always the same. I don't know, there was something about old cars that were a lot easier, wasn't there? Without all this computerised crud. You know, I think Gary would back me up, and probably Arthur. You know, you sort of you smelt, you listened, and you felt, and you knew where you were going. But when you've got a computer that's beating its little heart, yeah, you don't know what it's doing, do you? Which is a bit of a so. Yeah, as I say, lads, I don't think we'll be on too long today. There's not many around, so they'll be doing other things. Arthur, let's put it back over to you. G0HA, G1NLQ.
Yeah, hello, and good evening to go in as well. Yeah, no, well, I haven't got a lot lined up for today anyway. I think I'm going to be very cautious about my approach today. Oh dear, talking about computers on cars as well. This Volkswagen of mine is absolutely cracking. It's a lovely, you know, the Golf, and lovely car, but it was had its service when I bought it in last November, and it's already clicking up every time I turn off. With a spanner comes up on the screen and says check now. Well, it should be need checking, so I'm gonna call in the garage and I'll inquire about it. But at the moment, I'm actually in my hand. I've got the manual, so I'm trying to look up what I should do if it says check now. I'm presuming before I read a word of it, it's going to tell me to go to take it to the garage. Yeah, which is what they're going to think. It probably needs its computer resetting to the timing of my last check, or last service when I bought it. Anyway, so anyway, that's my pain with bloody cars and computers at the moment. Yeah, everything's okay. I won't be coming back again, but I will listen on, guys, because I know we're nice short. Anyway, all best 73s to all stations, and I shall probably catch you somewhere local a bit later then, Dave. And good luck to Gary and Owen over there. Golf 0 AHA, passing it back to whoever's in the chair. Over.
Yeah, G1NLQ. Yeah, okay then, mate. Yeah. I think, if I remember rightly with the Volkswagen, you used to be able to turn the key to number 1, the first bit, and you know the bit that has the tripometer, so of how many miles you're running. I'm not sure whether it was a push it in and hold it, or whether it was pull it out slightly. I think they're just like a little button now, so it might be push in. But that's I think that's how you turned off the little service thing. It used to happen with our van, Volkswagen van. I'd get it into JCBs, and they would have serviced the thing, and I'd get about 10 miles down the road, and the little spanner would come up again. Pain in the butt, I'm not turning back round, and I'm sure that I learned how to do it, but I can't remember. It's been quite a few years ago since I drove the thing. I know Simon's out here does it as well, and yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you can get these little things that plug in underneath, and you can do it yourself. But it shouldn't need doing yet, should it? It's that's a bit premature. Now I'll put it back over to Gary. VK4GRB G1 in LQ.
G1 in LQ, VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo returning. Oh, I see a DEU on there. I think that's Lisa. But no worries. Let's see now. Well, my tractor is older than I am, literally. It's a 56 model. So it's the closest thing to it's got, which is electronic is the points, and that's probably about it. My other vehicle is a 68 model Stout, and yeah, same thing goes with that as well. And my newer vehicle, well, it comes up, yeah, because I do all my own servicing here, so what's my trick with the with anything comes up on the thing? You know, they say, "Oh, take it into the workshop and we'll put it on the computer and we'll wipe it off." Well, I found if you disconnect the battery for about an hour and reconnect it again, that kills the memory in all the computerized baloney. And hey, look, no more lemon thing, you know, because you know, yeah, they do. They, you know, I don't know about over there, but over here, if a check motor icon comes up or something like that comes on your dash, they want $100 just to say, "Oh, we can delete that off there now," you know, kind of thing. You know, without even doing anything, just to say, "Oh, we can delete that." You know, and I found I could do it for nothing by just disconnecting the battery for about an hour, and then reconnect the battery, and it all clears the memory. Yeah, because most of it is, you know, most of mine is, most of mine is either, same thing, you know, because, as I said, I do my own servicing and all the other stuff, so it never goes. The only time it went into a car yard shop was when it was still under warranty. As soon as it ran out of warranty, that was it. I saved myself about $500 each time for each bloody service. You know, it will cost me, $30 or something like that for the oil, and probably another $20 for the filters. You know, and a little bit of time, and yeah, you know, I couldn't see $500 worth. You know, I've got a timing belt I've got to do. It's coming up to its Oh, actually, I think I'm overdue for that. Anyway, I've got it here. I've just it's the second one I've put on. So, or it will be the second one to put on. Yeah, just one of those things. Yeah, I don't bother about going to see a mechanic or anything like that. I do it all my damn self. I know enough on I know enough on what can and it's not it's only could be a couple of things. It's either lack of air, lack of fuel, or being a diesel. It can't be really too much because you don't have spark. Hi. G1NLQ, VK4, GRB and group. There's a few more popped up.
Yeah, VK4, GRB, G1NLQ. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 2E0DUE is Ian. I think he's possibly only listening, and we'll give him a chance in a moment if he wants to come in. As you say, the older motor. Yeah, I mean, when you used to take the old FJ Holden, it was, you had a spark, you had fuel, and you had water, and that was it. None of this computerised business. And good morning to Andy as well, VK4HOO there. So Doctor Who's on there. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But of course now they say, oh yeah, but he's got to have the computer reset. The girl over the road had a new exhaust put on hers. She took it somewhere up in Margate to have a new exhaust put on, and believe it or not, the next morning the car wouldn't go because they hadn't reset the computer to say that it had a new exhaust on, and right pain. And the vehicle literally had to be loaded all the way into Canterbury for them to plug a thing in to go click. It's unbelievable. The modern motor is pain in the butt. Anyway, I'll just see if Ian does want to pop in or whether he's just lurking and listening to E0DUE G1NLQ. No, I think he's a lurking. Right, so VK4HOO. Good morning, Doctor Who, or evening, Doctor Who. I trust everything's okay there. And you're well, still playing the bowls and enjoying retirement. And good morning to John in Florida as well. I'll put it over to Andy first, VK4HOO G1NLQ.
And very, very good evening or good morning to you. I think it would be about 10 o'clock, wouldn't it, in the morning? It's 7 o'clock here on Friday night. I missed last week. I forgot all about it. That's because I try my best to get out here on a Friday now and have a talk to you guys. It's the only time I sort of really do Peanut. So all good. And Nettie, I hope you're well, darling. Could hear you there in the background. Yeah, it's not a real lot. I was going to play bowls today, and I'm trying to get some exercise. I was riding my push bike. Can you believe? And I've damaged my calf muscle. So I thought, it won't affect bowls, but it did. So I had to cancel that. I'm pretty upset with myself, eh? There's no future in trying to get fit. Absolutely not. It just not for me anyway. It hurts. So yeah, there we go. Interesting. You're talking about cars and doing all your own work and that. 50 years ago, I was a what they call a windscreen fitter for a multinational company, O'Brien Glass, and back then, we were doing Rolls Royces and all your older sort of vehicles, your E.H. Holdens and things like that, and very messy job, because you had all this caulking compound and it was terrible. I'd even fitted what they call skyports. Just you cut the hole in the roof and you put this skyport in. It just opens on a couple of hinges. I used to fit those on site. There was windows to go into panel vans. I can remember it was the main roads department at that stage, and they had to have the 4 windows in the back. So go out on site and cut the panels out, do all that. I guess if anything, there was a group of us within the company, and we were sort of the pioneers of how it is done now with the urethane to it's part of the structural makeup of the motor vehicle. I just reset. And we had absolutely nothing. We didn't have any heads up on how this stuff was done or anything. And in early days, it was just horrible. What we had to do these jobs, and most weren't done properly. And what sort of stirred my interest in that, I was on YouTube, and there goes Big Ben. And there was this thing came up with windscreen technicians in America, and the tooling they've got now to be able to take the windscreens out, cut the urethane, and they're only using like fishing rod nylon, and but they've got these clamps that clamp onto the inside and outside, and they hook the cordless drill up to it, and it spins around and just cuts the thing out. Boy oh boy, how things have changed. What it was 50 years ago, I guess. And now over there, just sort of reading a bit more into YouTube. They've got to be licensed now, because once you start taking the glass out of changing a windscreen, you're actually interrupting the flex points and everything of these vehicles. So you've got to be guarded on what grade of urethane you're using and everything else. And then you've got to reset the eyes in the car for emergency braking and everything else it does. So you've got to have this gear to be able to do that as well. Of course, there was nothing like that 50 years ago. So, I just sort of caught my interest to how it used to be to how it is now. One person can do it nicely. I had to throw the windscreens in by myself. There's some big ones, and that led to back injuries and everything else with what I suffer now. Now it goes on to like it's like a robot arm and that, and they hook it up to the car and they put the glass on it and it just goes in. There's nothing physical at all. So I wish I had it all 50 years ago. All good. Back to you, Dave, and hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone else. G1NLQ.
Yeah, VK4HOO, G1LQ, yeah, okay there, Randy. Yeah, it's all changed, hasn't it? And you think that if you go 50 years ago, vehicles didn't flex like they do now. The bodies were really, really quite strong. But now, when they're building them, it's sort of like two sides and a roof, and it's, you know, just spot welded in a couple of three places, and yeah, that's it. I suppose that's why cars fold up so quick nowadays. And yeah, just a quick question. You said about the bike. Have you still got your electric bike?
Yes, I have, Dave. It's actually funny you asking. It sort of must be an ESP type thing. I hadn't sort of really been using it. You know, I think just lack of general interest that I'm working through, and you know, I've got to really, you know, get myself out of how I'm feeling and everything else now. I've sort of stopped work, so yeah, I've given it a bit of a clean up and charged the battery up, and I took it for a run this morning. I did about 10 kilometres on it this morning, so yeah, it's going just like the day I bought it. It's you know, it's an absolute ripper. My brother, he bought one, not the same model because it's Leafner, the company that make them, and there's two guys in here that used to see me getting around, and they ask questions and they end up buying one each. So yeah, so to the question, Dave, yes, most certainly.
Oh, good, yeah. It's, you know, I'm really glad you still got it. And I remember when you got it, and you used to have a belt around on it. So, oh, brilliant. Right, let's pop it over to John in Florida. Good morning, John. Well, it must be coming up for about 5:10, I would have thought. Whiskey November 4V, G1NLQ.
G1NLQ, WN4V. Close, Dave, close. It's right now 5:06 in the morning, 5:06 a.m. And I haven't looked at the weather in a bit. I know that most days now, around 3 o'clock, it's 32, 33 degrees C. But that's how hot it gets in Florida every year. Out in the west, it's a disaster. Very, very high daytime temperatures in the low hundreds. But here in Florida, there's no problem. I'm healing up nicely from my procedure, and I'm in outpatient physical therapy. I go in and get a workout every 2 days. Mine's big. That big incision on my chest is all healed up, although the breastbone or the sternum requires a bit longer to heal, maybe up to a year. So you have to be careful. And I forgot to mention one time that I can't go through an airport metal detector. I'll set it off. They wired me shut. Everything's okay here. Nothing really going on that's of any consequence. Good to see everyone else here. And so I'll turn it back to you, Dave. And whoever gets it next, gets it next. G1NLQ, WN4V.
Yeah, WN4V, G1NLQ. Okay, John, yeah, glad to hear you're healing up okay. And yeah, setting off the old alarms. I heard of somebody the other day went through just a normal supermarket thing going out the door and set that off, and yeah, he'd had some problems. So yeah, I used to do it with my toes. Because I've got some rods in my toes, so yeah, that sets them off. And yeah, it's about 21 degrees over here at the moment, and we've got arrows going to rain, but really low pressure at the moment. So yeah, all good. Right, let's just see if Jeff's there. KB9 Kilo Quebec uniform. Good morning to you, Jeff. Good to see you on. Are you there?
Well, good morning to all of you. Yes, sir. Just did one of my several pit stops during the night here, and thought I'd crank up my tablet just to see what was going on, and lo and behold, there you were. 73 to y'all. Take care. KB9 KQU, clear for now.
Yeah, KB9 KQU G1LQ. Yeah, okay, Jeff. Yeah. Yeah. Made me laugh at your early morning pit stop there. Yeah. Good to hear you, mate, and I hope you're well. I know you wasn't feeling too good earlier in the year. I hope you're feeling a lot better. But good to hear you there, mate. Good to hear you. And yeah. Right, I'll pop it round to Gary. VK4GRB G1NLQ. Over to you, Gary.
G1NLQ VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo. No worries there. Good morning to the USA stations, and good evening there, Andy. Yeah, or I do the same at the airports. I fire them off with my knee. It was fun in the earlier days when I was when I was on the doing the emergency services stuff. Because I'll be, get to the airport, you're on this plane, you're going over to, South Australia, or up the top of Queensland, or down into Victoria, or New South Wales. So I got used to informing them that the left leg is artificial, and they run the wand down and bleep, okay, he's telling the truth, and okay, get through, and this bloke's doing all that, and he's got an artificial. Oh, yeah, and but one of those ones. All the fun parts of hopping on planes. Yeah, as I said, the amount of the amount of places I had to go to. And when I was doing all that stuff in the earlier days, my last one was in, was it 2010? Yeah, just before I moved out here was the last time I done anything there. Anything which was any natural disaster to Australia, I was there from 84 to 2010. So I've seen a lot of disaster. As I used to say. As I used to say, I've been to quite a lot of places, but all at their worst. Hi. I don't know how much you missed of that over, but anyway, G1NLQ, VK4, Golf Romeo Bravo. Back to you there, Dave.
Yeah, VK4 GRB G1LQ. Yeah, we got to 84, and I was just about to say we'd lost you, and you came back. Yeah, I know. I got an old mate. I haven't spoken to him for a few years. He used to be one of these guys that worked for the fire brigade and used to go out to sort of places that had earthquakes and things like that. And yeah, as he said, he everywhere he went, he only ever went if it was a disastrous area, or disaster area, should I say. So yeah, it's not seeing the place in its best. And yeah, there's a few of them at the moment, isn't there? A mate of mine, Hank, he moved from Belgium to Greece. When he moved there, January, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, when he...
January he moved there, the island of Eva. And of course that's a bit toasty at the moment, all alight. And one of the, I think it was the Canada Air aircraft that's been fighting fires there, it crashed, killing both the pilot and co-pilot, which was very, very sad. So yeah, not good on that. Anyway, time's getting on. We're a bit thin on the ground today, so let's pop it over to Owen, and then we'll come up and then finish off, I suppose. VK4 FODM G1NLQ.
Yeah, G1NLQ, no, Dave. Yeah, that banner also could mean that you need to do an oil change too. I have seen that on a few vehicles. But yeah, I'm a bit of a lover of the old Holdens. I used to own an old HR, and just say you did a universal joint, you could probably go 1,000 k's and put your new one in after that. I did one, well, had to replace it. I bought it at Emerald. I drove the car to Mackay, jacked one side of the vehicle up, took the tail shaft off, bashed the new one back in, and put it all back together up in the mountains where we were staying at a scout camp. And yeah, and then another place we used to do bow hunting, I did a wishbone rubber. So I had them already spares, I knew they were on their way. So while I was there, I sort of replaced the rubbers on that. So yeah, definitely the older vehicles are a lot more user friendly. But that's life, I suppose. We've got to put up with these new crap they put out. Alright, Dave, we might catch you later too. I might head off and go and see us around on the old HF. Nice chatting to you, and you too, Gary, and everyone else. You all have a good one. G1NLQ, VK4 FODM.
Yeah, VK4FODM, G1LQ, yeah. Yeah, the older motor was a lot easier, wasn't it? The old FJs, and you could do stuff along the side of the road. It was easy, wasn't it? Just jack it up, and yeah, I pulled engines out of those things. Oh dear, yeah, the old push rods at the side, and oh dear, it was a lot easier. And yeah, I want to play a bit of radio if I can a bit later on. I bought the IC7300, and I've not really had a chance to play with it at the moment. It does 4 meters, 70 megs, so I want to see how you get it onto that. I can't understand how you do it yet, but I'll have to have a look. And I want to hook up a switch so I can bring the antennas in and switch them over to the various bits and pieces. I just not had the time to do anything. It's yeah, just not working right. Daryl's popped up as well. Right, let's pop it over to Andy again, VK4HOO G1NLQ.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, and yeah, g'day, Daryl. Trust everything's all good in your world. Yeah, I haven't caught up with Brian, Triple J. Yeah, there's quite a few. I haven't, just haven't been on. But yeah, I'm trying to change that. Trying to change it so there's no reason for me, not to be on radio like I used to love it. I live for it. But yeah, times just sort of change a bit. But the one big thing I miss is my HF. That's with the antenna and the tower, and yeah, just HF, because that to me is radio. It's this is good. Like we can talk and that, but yeah, in days gone by, we could be on a HF set just doing the same thing, and there's a, to me, maybe, I'm just sort of silly in that, but yeah, HF for me was, well, that's where I entered with, and but each move I've done, I've got to downsize all the time, and it, oh dear. Well, yeah, I think that I'm using the guttering as an antenna. Tunes up all right on 80 meg 40, but outside of that it's not real flash, but that's okay. That's okay. You never know what is around the corner. You never know. I don't take anything from granted anymore. It especially being in the industry I was in, you hear some really, really distressing stories and that, so nothing surprises me. Alrighty, thanks for being there, Dave. I thought, well, I'm going to get in here tonight, and I said to Heather, I want an early dinner so I can get out and say g'day to my friends over there in England. So we've done it, and we will try again next Friday. So back to you, Dave, and Nettie. You take care there, darling, and we'll catch you hopefully next week. G1NLQ, VK4HOO.
Yeah, VK4HOO, G1LQ, yeah. Funny enough, I was thinking of you the other day, Andy. A guy brought a couple of these slinkies. You remember the metal springy things that you used to play with going down the stairs? And he hooked a couple of these up in his loft with a ribbon, I suppose like off of a G5RV. And he brought that down into the radio room, and surprisingly it worked. His automatic ATU would tune it up, and yeah, he's worked quite a few stations just with this two slinkies sprung out across his loft. So yeah. But I sort of thought you, and I wonder if that would work. In actual fact, I went and brought one when I was out with Littleton a few weeks ago, and Littleton thought it was good to play with, so he's got it. So I lost it, he's got it. Oh dear, never mind. It was good fun now. Right, where are we going now? Let's pop it back over to John in Florida. Mr. Baxter's just gone by, G4SBD. He's just gone by the door. Right, Whiskey November 4V, G1NLQ.
G1NLQ, WN4V. Well, I'm quite pleased that I was able to make it today. But I need to give you the belated weather report. It's 25 degrees C here right now, and 87% humidity. Yesterday we had 98% humidity. Very, very humid and sticky. By the way, the temperature, water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico in some parts are over 100 degrees, so if a storm goes through there, it's going to be a big one. Thanks for letting me check in. Thank you for running the net, Dave. It's always good to hear you and everyone else. Good morning to Gary, VK4GRB, and also Lisa, I believe that's her name, 2E0 Delta Uniform Echo. Everyone, please take care and stay safe. I'll be listening to the end of this group's net. G1NLQ
Yeah, WN4V, G1LQ. No, the 2E0 station is Ian. He's up the road from me a couple mile, and he's just listening at the moment. I think he's got it on his probably his laptop downstairs, and he's probably pumped into his oxygen at the moment. Yeah, thanks for the weather report there, John, as well. Good to hear you. And what I'll do is I'll pop it over to Daryl, tie the ribbons on. How are you, Daryl? And I hope you got stuck into some of those nice cakes you sent the picture of VK4 DGM G1NLQ.
G1NLQ VK4DG returning, and good morning to you Dave and Eddie, and everyone on the net. Evening and morning, all good. Yeah, no, not today. Yesterday we did a 9.5 kilometre hike yesterday with the neighbour next door. We went out over near Mount Glorious there, did a bit of walking there, and we called in on the net, the Gcast net in the morning, and yeah, came back and crashed there for a while. I forgot to wake up for the Gcast Zoom meeting that was on at 7:30. I didn't wake up till 9:10, so it was all done and dusted. But never mind. And today we went to the day spa today. We'll get a rock massage there for an hour, so get all the muscles back to life again. So all good. Yeah, it's been a couple of nice days here. It's been up around the 25, 27 degree range Celsius, and supposed to be a fairly warm weekend this weekend. We're going, what's tomorrow? Saturday. Going to go play a bit of Portal HF tomorrow in the park here. And Sunday we're going to Mount Gravatt show. Is on the show firing up now. So after Mount Gravatt show, the Eka Brisbane show starts up. So it'll be on the next few weeks as well. So we'll see where we go. But yeah, we've got the ABC broadcaster Macca. He's working at Mount Gravatt on Sunday morning at 5 a.m. So we'll go and catch up with him anyway. So, yeah, they kept saying rain, but I noticed the moon's tipped over half now, so the rain hasn't came out at all. So we've missed it, I guess. So all good. All right, have a good one there, and thanks for the net there, Dave, and we'll catch us, and we'll probably do my bakery in the morning. They're doing cluster buns with the fresh cream or mock cream, and that there. So we might get one of those. G1NLQ VK4DGM. Have a good day.
Yeah, VK4DGM, G1NLQ, yeah, get it, mate, yeah. I think we'll have to come over and you'll have to give us a tour of the bakeries. Yeah, that would be nice. Have a sample of each. Yeah, sounds good. Well, I had I don't know what the pastry was, but it's like a Danish this morning with a nice vanilla custard in it. And that was rather nice. And my little grandson got tucked into a little egg custard tart yesterday. I'm not sure if he's very picky on food. I'm not sure whether he liked the custard or not, but he seemed to like the pastry, and he ate a bit of the custard. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, fine on the portable HF in the park. Yeah, sounds good, sounds good. Alright guys, well, very thin on the ground. I wasn't expecting Fred. So I think we did have a chat to him the other night, which was really good. So that was nice to hear him anyway. And I did pop up, I think it was last night. And then I thought, no, I've got to check the inside of the eyelids. I was a bit tired. So thanks, Gary, Ian listening there, Doctor Who, and you, Daryl. All the rest have disappeared, so I'm going to disappear as well. Going to get a drink. I've got to go and find my multimeter. My son's just been WhatsApping me, asking me for the meter, whether he can borrow it. Fixing somebody's car or something. Yeah. 73 to you all. Catch you all later. G1NLQ closing it and saying Teddy bye.
Dave, before you go, how is Fred? I sort of, as I said, I'm not around radio a lot. I guess he's had the move and that, but how's his treatment going over?
Yeah, he had his final radio or radium treatment, whatever you like to call it.
That was Tuesday.
That was on Tuesday. Said it left him a bit tired. He's still only part moved at the moment. He's part moved to his daughter's, which is sort of cramping his, getting things done at the moment. So he's then going to be going down to his son's to, I don't know, with his granny flat or a caravanette or whatever he's doing. He did say he was going to do a bit of travelling with the caravan. I'm not sure whether he's going to do it this weekend or whatever. But no, he's coming on all right, and I think he's got to go back in about 3 months' time, or a month's time. And I think they're going to do something else as well. I think they're going to take some blood away and try and sort it out that way as well. So yeah. So he's not doing too bad when we spoke to him. We wished him happy birthday, which was Monday.
Sunday, the 23rd.
Oh, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday was his birthday. So yeah, we wish him happy birthday, and yeah, he seemed pretty upbeat there, Andy. Back to you.
That's excellent. When you're talking to him, give him my regards. Thank you very much, and we'll try and make it all happen again next Friday. Take care.
Yeah, okay then, mate. Yeah, I don't know if Daryl's got any other news on Fred. Have you, Daryl?
Yeah, VK4DGM. Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, no, he's going alright. He's saying we're feeling a bit tired today. They did a bit of a walk on Thursday down at Jacobs Well. And also, excuse me, Andy, there's a new repeater going up at Ipswich Toowoomba, sorry, that's going to link back to Ipswich repeaters there in the next couple of weeks there as well. So, yeah, because they have they just started up their newbie net, but they have nets, feather duster net, and a 7-day-a-week net there too, which is run by Ron VK4RG, which he's 92. So, but yeah, the new repeater will come online up in Ipswich, from Ipswich to Toowoomba there. So they got one out at Boona, one up Esk, Mount Crosby, and around the Ipswich area. So, and then the new one will be at Toowoomba there. So it'll be on the same location as the other repeaters there that are up there now. So we'll see how it goes. All right, 73 guys, have a one. G1NLQ VK4DGM.
Yeah, okay then, mate. Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, you're getting those repeaters all linked up nicely, isn't it? I wish they did that in the UK. They did try it. They were all linking up. It was nice because there was a bit of traffic on there then. So I think they started it, you know, for a couple, 3 hours a day, linking up. But I did speak to Peter the other day, Baggy Trousers, having a chat with him on the Gold Coast one. But he kept on breaking up, and I didn't know whether it was his link into it or what. But yeah, it was good to talk to him anyway. All right, guys, catch you all later. G1NLQ going, but just listening.